Hi, today I'm going to be sharing with you my pumpkin scones. I got this recipe, the only thing it says on here is Laura Vitale. I'm not exactly sure where I got it from. I got it a while back, like a couple years ago. But it's simple to me, and this is so far what I have. I went ahead and did my flour so that it would just be easier. This is 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Okay. Now I'm going to be putting in 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. Just regular white sugar. 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and I'm using light brown sugar, but 1/4 cup of that goodness. Okay, the next thing you need is 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So I'm going to get that 1.5. And then 1/2 of that. If I can get it to cooperate with me. I usually pre-measure everything, but I just didn't do that today. I wish I would have now. But too late, already started. Not gonna stop now. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I use pink Himalayan sea salt. That way, you know, if you're wondering why it's pink, that's why. 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. It's not all wanting to come out. Don't know why. Let's see, that's 1/4 teaspoon baking soda. And now I'm just going to whisk this up a little bit. And the brown sugar gets stuck. And I'm going to set this bowl to... No, I'm not yet. I'm not going to... Well, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and set it to the side for just a few moments. Now I'm going to go ahead with some of the wet mix. I'm going to, let's see, 1 egg, and I'm using quail eggs, so 3 eggs. And yes, the yolks are different sizes because my babies are different sizes. That sounded gross. My birds are different sizes. 1/3 cup of pumpkin puree. So let me get my 1/3 cup and get some of that. If you get a little bit more, it's not going to be too terrible, but try to get it as close as possible. I just dip it out of the can because I use canned kind. But if you have your own, that's awesome too. But I've never grown pumpkins. Need to try that sometime. And I need 1/2 cup of heavy cream. 1/2 cup. So that's 4 ounces. Okay. And then you need 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Pure vanilla extract. I do not use imitation kind. But if you do, that's fine too. I'm not gonna say you can't. Oop, I got a little much. I just leave it a little in the spoon. Alright. This is a mess today. I'm sorry. It's actually Thanksgiving Day, and I'm doing all this stuff because I promised I would do it. Now you just mix this all together. Make sure it's all mixed together really well. And then you set it to the side. And grab your flour back. The next step will be 8 teaspoons of cold unsalted butter. Now, I cheat a little bit. You're supposed to just cut this up, but I cheat and go ahead, I grate it into my flour sugar mixture, because that way whenever I start to do all the things, when I mix it together, it incorporates better. Kind of looks funny too. It's really easy to do. I just get weirded out right toward the end because I always do, and I go slower then. Okay, unsalted butter, if I didn't say unsalted. It's 8 teaspoons, which is 1 stick. You get all that buttery goodness. Oh, I don't want to touch there we go. Get all of that into here. Now, I'm gonna go wash my hand real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, what you're gonna do now is you're gonna take your pastry blender. If you don't have one of these, that's fine, but if you have one, that's absolutely fabulous. You take one of these and you kind of mix it up in here until it is like sandy texture, I guess. It's not the texture, it's actually still soft, but it kind of looks like sand is what it will look like. And like I said, if you don't grate the butter, that's fine, but it just makes this step a little bit simpler, and it makes it go a little faster. Since I've got that the way I want it, it's like crumbly sand kind of mixture. I'm going to clean that off a little. And now you mix all of this goodness into your flour mixture. Your wet and your dry finally get to meet. Okay. Now that bowl is a good place to put all of your dirty utensils because then you've got them out of the way. Now you take a spoon and you just mix this together. And one thing that I actually forgot is 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice mix. This is pumpkin pie spice mix that I actually mixed myself, and I'm going to use the ½ teaspoon because the other one's dirty. I knew something was missing. It smells so good, that pumpkin pie spice mix does. Now you mix it together. I should have put that in before, but that's okay. I like to get in with my hands because it makes it a little bit easier. But you just have to be careful with scones because your hands are warm and you need to have cold as possible. Now what I'm going to do is I have a sheet of wax paper here, my clean spoons, and I'm going to put that on here. Now there's several ways you could do this. One way, you could just take a cookie cutter, biscuit cutter, whatever kind of cutter you chose, and you could cut shapes or whatever like that. Okay, that's one way you could do it. Another way, which is the way that I think it's more traditional, but I'm not sure if it is you take it and you get it all together like that, and you flatten it out to probably, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch thick. You flatten it out as much as you can. And this way they look homemade and rustic. You take you a knife and you cut. You cut them like you would a pie or something like that. Okay, now I'm going to show you the next part after I go wash my hands real quick. I'll be right back. And now you're going to have 1 egg, which is what you normally would have, and a little bit of your heavy cream. And you get that all mixed together really well. Okay, after you have that whisked together, you just paint all of your scones all over them. This is a very important step because you're going to put some like cane sugar on it, but it's not like the fine ground sugar. This is a very important step in the process because you need this egg wash to make it sticky. Cover every bit of it. And now you take, I'll put this over here so I don't make a mess. This is what I was talking about. It's this kind of sugar. I get this kind from Walmart. But anyway, you take you a spoon and you dip a little bit and you just sprinkle it on all over it, just all over the top. I don't know if I said this or not, but before you start this recipe, preheat your oven to 375. That's what mine is preheated to anyway. The actual recipe says to preheat it to 400, but my oven does not cook. Like others, you may have to play around with it to figure it out yourself, whether it's going to work for you or not. But you just get this all over, and yes, I'm wasting some because it's falling onto the thing, onto the pan. Okay, place it in the oven, 375 for 17 to 18 minutes until golden brown. I'll show you what they look like when they're done. Okay, this is what they look like whenever they come out of the oven. They're quite large and they're really good. Let me see if I can get it in the frame. There we go. But that's what they look like. And I'm going to put them on a plate and they'll be ready to eat whenever. But these are really big ones. You can make them smaller. That's up to you. You can make them skinnier. However you want to do it. But they're really delicious. And if you try them, let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any comments, you have any scone recipes, let me know in the comments down below. Tell me your favorite scone. And remember, don't take any wooden nickels and be sweet.